Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Mindset. I'm Vanessa Michelle.
And I'm Chris Paulino, and we got, we got another great show for you this week. And it's definitely something that we could probably sum up in a couple minutes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But
we're going to be kind enough to extend it to 30. Today we are talking about what it means to have a digital mindset. Now, me and Chris, we sat down as we normally do to talk about this. And the whole reason why we're even doing this talk is because we get asked a lot about how to have a digital mindset, how to progress as a business online, and what that looks like for various companies. And today we're going to give you guys some tips on how to have a digital mindset. We don't want to neglect the people who are doing a fairly good job at it, but we still want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to have a digital mindset to improve your business and to advance your business. You ready?
And what this means, real quick before we go to this clip, is if you're still thinking about billboards, the weekly clipper in your local little magazine that everybody gets with coupons in it and all that. If you're still on bench ads, if you're in grocery shopping carts, if you're sending out a mailer, that's not a digital mindset.
That is not.
That's a traditional mindset. Okay. And it might work for you right now, but when you look at how much more you can scale when you go into a digital mindset, how much more ROI you will get from the same amount of spends in a digital realm, the numbers are crazy. And you're truly you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money if you're still in some of these old school avenues.
Right, and it's important to adjust your business to the digital, what do they call it, ecosystem, basically. Nowadays, it doesn't make sense to have all these dollars spent on mailers, bench ads. People aren't really looking at that. They're not engaging like that anymore. The new way that people are engaging is this right here, and we all know that. And if you're someone who, believes that mailers are still doing you justice, I'm going to encourage you to check your stats on that. But we want to help you guys either way in that arena. So what we're going to do is provide a clip of a marketer that we both admire, Gary Vaynerchuk. That's how he says it on his show. Here's a short clip about the digital mindsets. You guys can check it out.
You're basically the owner of 4 very good bookstores in your town the day before Amazon decided to get serious. Your entire life, regardless of industry, over the next decade will be eaten up by technology. And either you're on the eating side or you're on the other side. And I don't think most people here want to get shitted out, right? Right?
Go.
How many of you business owners want to get shitted out?
Right. You have to pick a side. You have to essentially pick a side.
I'm not trying to get shit out of nothing. I know that.
Right. And it's a game. It's a tricky game. And I love that Gary kept that clip so real, because a lot of people are losing because they don't want to adapt to the digital age. And I think really it's a fear. Like, wait a minute, I'm used to having mailers. I'm used to having this newspaper clipping that did my business, justice. And now I have to figure out Facebook and the algorithm. What are those words? What does that mean? That is so intimidating. And Gary is like, listen, you're all going to get shitted on if you do not have that progressive mindset and start being very practical about that. And I think that is so amazing. That he shares that advice. What did you think of the clip and the talk?
That's the truth. That's the real deal. And that's my favorite thing about Gary Vee, is he keeps it 100% all the time. There's a lot of business owners that I speak with, I talk to, that want to say, perfect example, the real estate industry. You guys are dinosaurs in the real estate industry, at least it seems like to me. We're doing business on word of mouth, and we got a mailer, and the 60-year-old lady is still reading the weekly clipper, so I got to be in the weekly clipper. And oh, what's a Facebook ad? Oh, I'm trying to sell $1 million house, but all I have is photos and no video. You can shoot a video, a 2-minute video right from your cell phone that everybody has. Mm-hmm. I know you have a cell phone.
Right.
But why no video? So here's perfect examples. I mean, the real estate industry, a huge industry here in the United States, and dinosaurs. We're talking dinosaurs, at least most of them. You have the select few that are doing it right. You know, you got the Property Brothers on HGTV that are luckily they have their own TV show. But even TV is going to be going away in 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah, and it's going to be scary.
I mean, there's a record number of people that don't have cable, that are using Netflix, that are using the internet to watch the shows they want to watch on. They got a Hulu account and that's it.
Right.
Amazon Fire Stick.
And that's TV. That is TV.
That is the TV for them. And you can do everything. You can watch basketball games. You can watch anything on these devices. And the thing is you don't have to watch the commercials. You can skip through commercials. You know, I have a Pandora account, which is digital radio.
Right.
I upgrade my account so I don't have to listen to your commercials.
Right.
I don't want your ads on there, and I pay to get you off of there. So, you know, if you are still doing mailers and magazines and things like that, you are way behind the curve.
Right. And to kind of put it into perspective, for me, I'll say the digital mindset is really adapting to how the industry and how technology is advancing. Like, having a digital mindset means, even though I might be intimidated by having these Facebook ads and maybe having to hire for it or whatever, I'm still going to do that for my business because I believe that's going to help my business. That's being smart about the digital age and having that digital mindset where everything that's on my mobile phone, I'm going to make sure that I make my business in such a way that anybody who's on the mobile phone can interact with me, from looking me up to selling to contacting me, all those things. And for me, that's the digital mindset, where you're putting your business in the digital world and not worrying anymore about how it used to be, the traditional way of marketing and getting known and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And you know, one big thing here is, I feel like a lot of people get scared to put these videos up. Oh, we got to do all these edits. Whatever the case is, you have to understand that there's never been a better time for a business owner than today's day and age. 10, 20 years ago, you had to spend a ton of money and get on TV before you could get the attention of your customers. You had to be doing these things that just cost a lot of money. Have you ever heard of, it takes money to make money? That was true 20, 30, 50 years ago, when all you had was a TV and that's all people watched. Nowadays, everybody is glued to their cell phone. That is where their attention is. So if you're a marketer, if you're a business owner, you have to get where your customer is. You have to get their attention on the devices or on the platforms that they're at, and that's on their cell phone.
Point blank period.
Point blank period. People are getting in car accidents. We had to implement a law that you're not allowed to text while driving.
Because of the digital age.
People are getting in car accidents and losing their lives because they can't go a 10-minute car ride without their cell phone.
Right.
They were texting and driving and then ran right into your bench ad. Didn't see it the whole time because they were still looking at their phone. That's probably pretty hard to see. It's not funny,
yeah,
but that's the truth. They're driving right past your billboard, staring at their cell phone, not seeing.
And ran right into. You had to say that.
Hey, don't text and drive, man.
No, that's serious. Do not text and drive. But I totally agree. I think for some of the businesses out there, and this is what we kind of talked about in our previous talk, if you do want to adapt to the digital age, one very practical thing that you can do for your business when you're looking to expand on these different social platforms, keep in mind how people are interacting with your business on these platforms. And I'm saying, like, on a very practical level, like, get an Instagram, post social posts and direct posts as well about your business, and see how people are engaging. Like, that's a very practical step that you could take right now. And that's for the people who are like, okay, what is the digital age? What does the digital age mean? that's what that means. Don't get caught up too much on the jargon. I think the jargon kind of intimidates people too, like, you know, digital marketing strategy, digital marketing, and people kind of get a little intimidated by it.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Take your time and really develop that digital aspect. And from every single meeting, after every single interaction, I think it's important to analyze, okay, how will this work on the digital platform? Like every single thing that you do, whether it's engaging with your employees more, whether it's contacting a client, whether it's a new service, you know, if you have a strategy to market, always keep in mind how it will relate to the digital age, to the digital mindset. That's my 2 cents on that.
And I think one thing that can, you know, really simplify this digital mindset here is, you know, just document what you're doing. Document your life. If you're a plumber and you're going on 10 jobs today, you have a cell phone, you have Facebook Live. If you run into something in a house you're in that, you know, is a very easy fix that a lot of other people can fix, you know, without calling you out or whatever the case is, post a video. Hey, check this out. This is how I would seal a toilet. You know, this is a common mistake. You know, this is how you fix it. Boom, right on Facebook Live. You're adding value to your audience, you're sharing your techniques, and you're showing people that you're an expert in your field. And that's having a digital mindset.
Right.
Having that or that know-how to pull out your phone while you're on that job, shoot a quick 1 minute, 2 minute video about this or that, or something that popped up, or, you know, hey, we're on our way to our customer's house, you know, whatever. Document what you're doing in your life, put it online, and connect with your customers.
Yes, and that's a huge thing that Gary talks about a lot. That documentation, like clients and just people in general, they like to see how people are getting certain things done. Like even in that context, you could offer, you know, ways that you use lime to clean stuff, like if it's a unique way or whatever. And there you go, there are people who might engage and say, wow, like I want to use, you know, more natural, simple products. I can't believe that you posted something about that. And you can post that in your Instagram story. You can post that on your Facebook. You can post, I mean, yeah. There's so many avenues to reach out and to show people those types of things, and it just boggles me, like, why aren't people doing that? Like, invest, just the same way that you're going to invest into any sort of equipment for your business, invest into a really good phone if you're somebody who works a lot with your hands, and at least you can snap a few photos and, you know, post it or whatever. Or even when it comes to using technology, get you a smaller laptop if it's that. So that you can get to your, you know, project management systems easier. Whatever it is, you want to start transitioning your business so that as the digital market grows, you're not left behind. And I think that's why Gary had all that like enthusiasm, is because I think he probably gets asked so many questions about the digital age and marketing that he's like, I'm telling you guys the same thing over and over, like, this is where it's at.
Not that hard, yeah.
This is where it's at, and pretty soon it's going to be, we say virtual reality and all that stuff. I mean, even thinking about that as a business, like I can't imagine being a cleaning company thinking about, okay, how is my business going to adapt to VR? But that's a real reality. Like that stuff is going to happen. So I think that the mindset, like the growth, like caring about growth, is really good for the digital mindset.
Yeah, and that's a good point, and something Gary Vee brings up is, how are you going to understand virtual reality or augmented reality or artificial intelligence or all of the many different technologies that are going to come up if you don't even understand Facebook, if you don't understand YouTube, if you don't understand how to there's still people today that don't understand how to use their cell phone, and it is in their hand all day, every day.
That's crazy.
They still don't know how to use it. My mom will ask me 100 different times how to do something on her phone, and she's on it maybe more than I am. I don't know.
Right.
So, you know, just make it a point to learn the new technology. Go through your phone, learn your phone. Go through Facebook, learn what it can do. Oh, this is live? Oh, what's it do? Push the live. Oh, hey, we're live. Check it out. I mean, you don't have to be scared of it. You know, that's the digital age that we live in. People don't want to see edited content. It doesn't have to be edited 10 times over for people to love your content. They want to see the real stuff.
Even the mistakes, like even all the mistakes and things that you get wrong, like even on here, sometimes we make mistakes and we get things wrong, and it actually makes for really good content and keeps people engaged in that way. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's another hindrance. People always like, I want it to be perfect. I want it to look like this and to be like that. But honestly, most people probably just don't care. And it's always good to have quality content and be excellent in that way. But don't limit yourself because of that. You know what I mean?
And you know, one thing Grant Cardone always says is you have to produce quantity before you can get quality. You have to go out there and really push and get people's attention, because if you're always thinking about, well, how am I going to create the perfect post or the perfect video, and I create that video in 5 months and I put out one video every 5 months, but it's a great video and it gets 50 views. No one saw the video. I don't care how great it is. You have to get attention before these will even matter. So I mean, you'll see it. You go to our YouTube, we don't have the most views in the world, but we're out here looking to get attention. And it has to start somewhere. You're not just going to blow up with 1 million views the very first day you turn your camera on. So you got to just push forward and keep doing it and keep going and keep living in this digital age. You know, one mindset that I think is a very traditional mindset is, you know, people will say, oh, I don't want to tweet every day because it's going to annoy my following, or oh, I don't want to be on Facebook every day blowing up my feed and annoying people.
No.
That's not the case anymore. I read an article by Neil Patel the other day that said how I got 60,000 people from my Twitter account to my website. Do you know what the advice was?
What?
I went from tweeting 3 times a day to over 40 times a day. That was the advice. Tweet 40 times a day.
Yeah. And that happens, and it sounds crazy, but it actually can get that interactive.
But that's the difference between the traditional mindset and the digital mindset, right there. Are you scared to tweet 3 times a day? You're probably 40 years old and you're you know, resting on your laurels of word of mouth advertising and billboards. If you're a new age marketer, I mean, you'll see Grant Cardone, you see Neil Patel, you see Ty Lopez all over the place all the time. They shoot content daily. Gary Vee all the time. You never see them skip 3 days and not put something out. They'll put multiple things out in the same day.
And you know what? The way that Gary Vee is putting out content, I almost think there's like a strategy behind it. Because no one knew, like people knew of him, but not in the way that they know now. And if you don't know Gary Vaynerchuk, you need to Google him ASAP. But the way that he puts his content out there now is totally different from how he used to. Now he's on it, and I think it's all to prove the point of things are about to change in the digital world. And get ready for it, and don't say I didn't tell you. Because he says that over and over in his content. One thing that I noticed too, even for Facebook, that's really helpful to just progress in this idea of having a digital mind, is that they have like that events section. And if you're someone who holds like a lot of events, like we're in contact with a lot of nonprofits, they have a lot of events and stuff like that. That is one underutilized source, is that events section. And now like Facebook has it where you can basically map out all the things that you want to do in a day right through that app. That is crazy. That is crazy. And it alerts you multiple times throughout your day. Why not have that? Why not be a part of that and engage your clients? Like you could do a sale and then it blows up on your, you know, whoever subscribes to that event, it can blow up on their phone. But if you don't have that digital mindset, you're not even thinking about that. You're still probably like, well, you know, word of mouth, we'll get people out here. Let me ask my cousin and my friend, and knock on the. It's like no.
And that brings up a good point too. I mean, if you look at, you know, Facebook Messenger, you can set up appointments directly in the Facebook Messenger. And when you click set appointment inside of that messenger, so you're a business owner, you're talking to a client about coming and do some landscaping for them at their house, you set the appointment on the Facebook Messenger as you're speaking with them. They accept the appointment. Now it's going to remind your customer that you have an appointment for landscaping today.
That's
if you let me ask you this: if you write down in your little calendar, in your little pamphlet or book or whatever you carry around, you write that calendar down, does it remind your customers that you're coming in today?
No.
It's like some Harry Potter shit.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way that it works. But if you do it through Facebook, Levionis or whatever, it's boom,
right. It happens.
They got it right on your phone. Hey, boom! Oh man, I got landscaping coming in 30 minutes. Great.
Right.
My bushes are finally going to be trimmed.
Conversion. That's the digital mindset. Don't forget, you guys, to tweet us. Our handles are on the sides of us. Hashtag digital mindset. And we want to help, people who have questions about getting that perspective, making sure that you're not on the other side of having a digital mindset. And even one thing too that I just thought about, like when it comes to websites and making sure that it's responsive, which I know we've talked about this, but that is so important. That's a part of the digital mindset, is having websites that are responsive, period. Like, even if you're someone who comes to us or goes someplace else or whatever, responsive should be the first thing out of your mouth. If you're someone who's caught up on jargon and you're afraid of those things or whatever, remember responsive.
Yeah.
That's what you need for your website, and it is so defeating to get on a website and you can't even zoom into you lost because I can't zoom into your website.
If you don't have a responsive website in 2017, you should probably be out of business in the next couple of years.
Just turn it down. Don't even have it up there. Just have your Facebook. Like, you're really doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, because people are going to be viewing on simply their cell phones in the next 5 or 10 years. I mean, people are already starting to use that trend of being on their cell phone more, getting away from the laptop, the desktop computer. We're going to your iPads and tablets, and all of these things. Our devices are getting smaller, but they can do more. So yeah, if your website, and there's, believe it or not, there's still companies out there that don't have a website built for a cell phone. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what are you thinking?
Right. Yeah.
Like, where did you live under a rock? Do you not, like...
That's a way to be competitive. Like, and businesses will say all day, well, how do I be competitive? How do I make sure that my work... Your website is everything. And the fact of it being responsive is like the main thing. Like, that's... Yeah. You cannot get away with that if you want to be competitive. You want to make sure you're getting noticed and that you are credible. Like, it's crazy to meet with clients and they're like, yeah, I know, I'm good at this and we're doing this and we're, big bosses and stuff like that, and their websites are shit. And it's like, wait a minute. So you're this credible person that I'm supposed to invest in, and your website looks like that, not responsive. There's no sort of engagement,
right. No
call to actions except for on the contact us page, and even then the phone number is no longer on. Right,
or you can't click it to call. I gotta write it down on a piece of paper.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna end up texting a friend of mine, like, you know what? I'm looking for a cleaning business. Can you help me? Like, you lost.
Yeah, and losing. And one thing that I have to leave you guys with is it's never been a better time for a business owner, for a small business owner, for a startup. I mean, you look at companies like Dollar Shave Club that create a viral video that literally increased their sales by a shit ton in one night. I believe it crashed their website and everything because they had so many sales from a viral video that they created. That probably wasn't that expensive. Videos, tweets, Facebook posts, being on LinkedIn, doing Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, doing all of these things are free for you business owners. If you're not doing that, if you're not taking advantage of that, it's a big mistake.
Yes, and it's free. Like, to sign up is free.
Right, and all you gotta do, create one good viral video, and boom, who knows, you might be selling a shit ton of your product the next day. And the day before that, nobody could have ever heard you. But if you try to send out a mailer and do something like that, it's never gonna work.
That's not
So you got to get into that digital mindset and get away from all of this traditional marketing and really focus on how are we going to bring ourselves into the digital age. No matter how much lag or no matter how hesitant you are to do it, you got to make the switch, because if you don't and you get behind in this digital curve, you're never going to be able to catch up.
Right, you're going to,
never going to be able to catch up.
You're going to dig yourself out, and even then it might not work.
No, you're going to need a bulldozer to dig yourself out of that hole.
Right. And you know what, you mentioned something really good too about video marketing. That is very imperative for transitioning your traditional mind to the digital mindset, because video is how people are engaging a lot. Even podcasts and stuff like that, people are engaging by video because they want to see you now. I think something that's really neat that's happening in the industry is that people care about the touch. They care to know that I'm the one in charge of their video, or I'm the one in charge of their website or whatever, or if it's a service that you're providing. You want to have those videos as contact, and you know, if you can only film it from your phone, film it from your phone. If you can hire somebody, hire someone. But not doing that is going to hurt your business. So the digital mindset is having that video, producing video content regularly, whether it's on social media or something that's more established, that's on your website to maybe show what kind of equipment you work with if you're a cleaning company, or maybe a tutorial if you're in the healthcare industry and you make your own products or whatever. People want that engagement. People want to be engaged in that way.
Yeah.
So part of that digital mindset is having video content. And this is like logistically what you should do. Like, that is your homework. Your homework is to not to only get on these social media platforms, but is to get a video started today about your business and put that everywhere. If you have your website going, put on your website, put on your Twitter, put on your Instagram, and that conversion will happen a lot easier than your mailer. I can guarantee you that.
And don't get it twisted. It's not like you're going to just pop a video up and boom, clients are going to start coming, customers are going to start coming. That's why it's got to be a mindset. You got to be consistently doing videos, consistently doing things in the digital age. This isn't something you're going to just do today, forget about for a week, and boom, bam, we're good to go.
Right.
No, it's a mindset. That means you got to have it moving forward. That means you have to be cognitive about, hey, maybe we should shoot a video right now. Let's shoot the video. Boom, we're live, we're going, we're doing it. Hey, let's shoot a video about this. Let's shoot a video about that. Whatever the case is, you just have to be in that mindset to always be moving forward in that digital realm. So. Right,
and it's no different from anything else. Just like when you want to lose weight, or you know, when you want to be a better reader, or whatever the case may be, you're putting yourself in a certain mindset. It's an adoption of a new idea, and that means every day you try it out. Sometimes you will lose, sometimes you will fail, but failure isn't defeat. Failure is learned. It's a learning thing, and that's a strategy. Failure is even a strategy, because then you can take it and say, okay, what do we do wrong about this video? What did we do right? Ask people their opinion. Ask your clients about their opinion on the video or whatever, if you really just don't know. Or you hire out. Like, don't be afraid to hire out. Spend those dollars to hire out. And that's another big thing. A lot of companies are like, well, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on this and that. But how much money are you making?
You don't want to spend money to get out of business.
Yeah.
The thing you should be looking at is, what is going to bring me positive ROI? If I spend $10,000 on a mail ad compared to $10,000 on a Facebook ad, I guarantee you that Facebook ad is going to poop all over that mailing ad. All over.
There's going to be so many people coming through your door. $10,000 on some Facebook
That's
ads.
what it's about. It's not about, I don't want to spend the money. If you don't want to spend the money, go work at Burger King. Flip some burgers. Hand some shit out. Wrap up some meat. Do something like that. If you want to be a business owner, you got to spend that money and get the attention of your customers.
Right. And don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. So,
yeah.
Hey, if you like this talk, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you share this, tweet it, Facebook it, do all of that stuff we're telling you to do. And, keep coming back.
Right.
Digital Mindset is the hashtag. We'll be here every week helping you business owners grow your digital marketing, social media, and everything digital from now until we're no longer on this planet. And then who knows? Maybe we'll be artificial intelligence robots still helping you with it.
Right, the robots are going to take over.
That's probably what it'll be.
Yeah, make sure you guys engage with us, give us your questions. We want to make sure that we're catering these talks to people who need the talks. Ask us questions, leave us comments. That's how we'll structure, most of our shows and stuff like that. I mean, we've talked about a lot, from branding to social media to web design, and we're here to help and to recognize a lot of those problems and create solutions for them. So I hope you guys heard that. Instagram. Make sure you guys know that.
See you guys on the next show.